once again, everybody, and all those who are celebrating New Year today. Happy New Year to all of you. Let's begin today's session. Today's session, we will be talking mostly about. We'll begin by talking about the forex part. When you go to the US or whichever country you go to, you will be required to pay your tuition fees and send money from India towards your living expenses. Either whether you're paying from a loan or you're paying from your parents are paying. So I thought we'll have a session on forex, and to help me with this session, we have Anil Tiwari, who is from this company called Unimoney. They are authorized forex dealers with offices all over India. So Anil will be basically is here to answer questions. With Anil, I think we also have Mr. Jaishankar, who just joined the session. And so both Anil and Jaishankar are from Unimoney, and I think they will be in a better position to answer questions related to your queries about forex, about sending money, paying fees, sending money for tuitions. What are the rules and regulations, and how do you go about the whole process? So we'll begin with that. And after this, after we have finished the discussion on forex, then we'll move on to the other parts of the discussion, like your visa process and all that. This is more like a question and answer session. So just feel free to interrupt us anytime and ask your questions, or you could put it in the chat box, the message box of this thing. So, I mean, anybody has any questions to begin with, or shall I start asking questions to Mr. Jaishankar and Mr. Tiwari? Anil, are you there?
Yeah, Regis
Yes.
sir, good morning. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Jay here, Jay Shankar. So just to sort you interrupt, the thing is that sir, shall I just take 2 minutes of your and introduce myself and Unimoney and just go ahead
Sure,
immediately
sure,
with the
go
question
ahead.
answer?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Thanks for this forum, sir. Good morning once again, Regis sir, Anil, my colleague, and all my dear students. Actually, I'm taking care of the marketing division of Mumbai and Pune, and Anil is there for all the operation activities, and he is the full support person for you all. And already we are into this, and we are doing it. Just coming back to our company, Unimoney Financial Services Limited. Actually, we are a 25 years old company, and earlier it was named as UAE Exchange. We rebranded on 2019. Presently, we do have more than 310 branches all over India. Out of India, also we do have. In Mumbai, we are having 11 branches. So near to you is Chembur, Fort, and Dombivli. So the Fort and Chembur, the branches will be supporting you with full services. We are a pack of 10 to 11 staffs, including me, Anil, to give you the full support. Then coming back to, we are a major like into forex remittance all. If you ask, one stop solution for even education loan, we are providing remittances, currency, hard currencies, your other arrangement, visa is there, staying arrangement also we are doing. So any queries, definitely we welcome all kind of queries. And after this session, we will be, if you required or not, we will be providing you the full details in soft copy to you. And rest anything, if we are willing, we are about the company. Just one minute, what I can tell, we are very proud to say we company is like very transparent in all our activities. We go as per the rules and regulation of governing authority. We are an 80, we do have 82 license, which is we are one of the oldest 82 license holder in India. We are an NBFC as well, and we do have very good competition in Mumbai. We are leading in Kerala and Punjab. And just if you ask the branding part, if you may be knowing Mr. Sanju Samson, who's a captain of Rajasthan Royal. He's our brand ambassador for our company, and really marketing point of view, we are doing well. And as well as the service part, that's the main, we first priority we do for the servicing part. That's the important thing. Oh, that's it, Rege sir.
Okay.
That's the only small introduction. Now
Yeah.
you can go ahead. Yeah,
Right.
please.
So now, before we begin this discussion, let me just give you context. When you have to send money abroad, right? See, either, I mean, there are several options as a student or as a parent you have. Obviously, most students generally, traditionally, say if your money is lying with the bank, you generally go to the bank and then ask them to transfer that money. Now, you could do that way, that is the traditional approach, or you could use a foreign exchange service. I mean, any authorized foreign exchange dealers who has an 82 license can send money. The My experience is generally, see, it's not that banks are safe or foreign exchanges are safe, all are equally safe, but the exchange rates that generally foreign exchange services give you or foreign exchange dealers give you is slightly lesser than what a bank offers. I mean, this has generally been my traditional observation, and
Yes, sir.
to a large extent it is true also. So say for example, if you have money in say HDFC Bank and you tell HDFC Bank to send it to the US, they would do the process for you, definitely, right? But if you use a foreign exchange service, you would get a better exchange rate. That is what is the advantage of using a foreign exchange service. And in general, I work with Unimoney, and Unimoney offers very competitive rates in the market. So that is how that is one of the advantages of using a foreign exchange service. And so coming to the questions, right? What I wanted to understand, what I wanted Mr. Jaishankar and Mr. Tiwari or and someone from their team to answer is that how does one go about this? For example, now most of these, in fact, not most, all of these students would be required to pay tuition fee to the university sometime in the month of say July, August, depending on the universities that they are joining. Um, and if they have to pay now, if the funds are with the parents or they want to send the money from their parents' account to pay to the university, how does one go about it, and what would be how would Unimoney or any forex for that matter assist with the process? So if you can explain the process of how it works, uh, I think that would be really helpful.
Yeah, hi. Good morning, Regi sir, and good morning to everyone. Wish you a happy new year to everyone. So, question is, sir, see, we basically Unimoney is a company where we help all the students for the remittance part. For example, as you said that the student wants to pay the tuition fees.
Mhm.
So what we will do in this case, uh, whatever the student list which you are having, okay. So you just provide the details to us. We can contact to each and every students, whatever amount is there for the tuition fees. Okay, we require the several documents. Okay, sir. For example, if students is providing the sorry, if they want to pay the tuition fees, if the parents are paying the amount, if the amount is more than 7 lakhs, so what we can do, we can tell the parents that you can save the tax also, because if student having the loans from the banks, then the amount will be only 0.5%, but if student does not have the loans, then the amount will be around 5%, okay, above 7 lakhs. So I'll contact each and every student. My office is in fourth branch, and we can help the student for the remittance part. We can provide the competitive rate, and our service charge will be around 550 rupees, sir.
Okay. No, so I understand that part. My question is, okay, so if the money is, can you explain how the process works? I mean, in the sense, once a student decides, okay, he or she has to send, say, $10,000 to the university. Okay,
Okay.
right. Let's not get into the TDS or the tax part because those are mandatory things. So whatever is the government rules, you will have to follow that. I mean, to certain extent, you can by splitting the money between two sponsors, or rather, I mean, by sending it in different parts, you can to some extent maybe save the some money, save some
Okay.
TDS. But we'll talk about TDS later. But how would the process work? Say, for example, I as a parent have my savings, I mean the money in say State Bank of India. Okay,
Okay.
that is where my money is, and now I have to send. I have to make two payments. One is to the university to pay the fees, and then there is eventually after the kid goes abroad, I would have to send money to him or her to their US bank account, which
Okay.
for taking care of the living expenses, right?
Okay, sir.
So coming to the fee part, how would the process work? I mean, can you just explain that part?
The process is like that. See, what happened, sir? You need to provide me. several documents. For example, if parents are transferring money from their account, we
Right.
require parents Aadhaar card, PAN card, mobile number, email ID. For example, a PAN card and Aadhaar card should be linked. Okay.
Okay.
And for the student, we require the passport copy and their account details of university.
Okay.
Then the parents will transfer fund from their our account to company account, and then we will process it. So it takes 24 hours to 40 hours to reach to the university accounts.
Okay. So how would the payment from, see, because the money is say in a State Bank of India account or in an HDFC account, so they would be transferring it. I mean, would they be paying via an online link? Would they have to write a
Yes,
check or?
yeah. They, for example, if the amount is about 2 lakhs, then they need to do the RTGS to our account. Okay.
Okay.
If parents having the check, so we can collect the checks from the parents, place also, and we can deposit the amount to our company account. We can help
Okay.
in that case.
Okay. So basically, it would be that they would have to pay your company first, and then your company will do the transfer.
Yes, sir.
And the rate is fixed on the day you decide to do the transaction.
Yes, yes. Rate is on the same day, sir. We'll provide.
Okay, because by the time the check gets cleared, the forex rate, the dollar rate would change, kind of thing. So
No,
that
no.
would be
What we will do? We will book it once the check will receive from the bank. We will book the same rate on the same day. So
okay.
no need to worry about the rate.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Mhm. Fine. And similarly, the same process would follow for paying tuition to the, I mean, paying for the living expenses of the student.
Yes, sir. Same. We have an account in HDFC, ICICI. I mean, basic we have in 17 banks account. So
Okay.
wherever the customers have the account, we can transfer the same time only. For RTGS, it takes only 5 minutes to reach to our account. Once the fund we receive to our account, immediately we transfer the fund and we send the invoice to the parents. And
Okay.
within after 24 hours, we send a TT copy. That is a Swift copy.
Okay. Fine. And within 48 hours, generally the money is credited to the US account.
Yes, sir. It's maximum take 48 hours, but minimum we say that 24 to 40 hours to reach to the university account.
Okay. Any questions on this so far? Yeah, Laukik, go ahead.
Yeah. So can I just speak or should I write?
Speak, speak. Speaking is better.
Okay. Yeah. Good morning. So the question is, will you be providing us all the taxes and all the forex rate, exchange rate beforehand? Because then we have to calculate the amount accordingly. Example, if the tuition fees is for maybe 15 lakhs for we are paying for one semester. Example, then some amount will be added for forex exchange. So you will be providing us that beforehand because then we will transfer all the money. Yeah.
Yeah, Lokik, before, for example, if you want to transfer some fund, before I'll ask for the document as well as we will provide you the rate as well as the total amount. Okay, after your confirmation, then we will go ahead.
Okay. Thank
Okay.
you.
So just to give you, Laukik, just to clarify a little bit on that, generally if you see, if you do any forex transaction, right? So there is the basic rate. Say suppose the rate is say 83 per dollar, right? So based on 83, whatever is the amount of when you're transferring say $15,000, right? So 15,000 into 83, whatever is the rate, that is the basic amount, dollar rate that I mean the amount of rupees that you will have to add. In addition to that, there would be, like you said, 550 rupees service charge. There would be a small GST component on that service charge. In addition to that, there is going to be TDS. Now, let's talk a little bit about the TDS part. Sorry, not TDS, it is TCS in this case. It is tax collected at source. So, as per the government rules, right? If you are remitting, I mean, if any person, any individual in India is remitting more than 7 lakhs in a year, in a financial year, uh, then there would be a 5% TCS that would be charged. Now, what is TCS? TCS is tax collected at source. It is basically you are paying um, income tax on the I mean, it's not exactly income tax on that amount, but it's like you are paying income tax in advance. It's almost like an advance tax that you pay. So, for example, say Laukik, your father wants to transfer say 10 lakhs to your account in the US or towards the university fees. Uh, the first 7 lakhs, there will be no charges, no TCS collected. But for the Mr. Jaishankar or Anil Tiwari, just correct me if I'm wrong. Huh? So if I go wrong somewhere, you guys are the experts. But so uh, on any amount that exceeds 7 lakhs, if you are paying from your personal account, then the TCS collected is 5%. Say, suppose you are paying an amount of say 9 lakhs, just to give you an example. So the first 7 lakhs are there is no TCS calculated. On the remaining 2 lakhs, there will be a TCS which will come to say 10,000 rupees. So what these people will do, I mean, not only Unimoney, but any forex or any bank that you go, they will say that okay, you have to pay 10,000 as TCS. So they will okay. So the basic amount is say 10 whatever is the amount that you are calculating for the dollar rate. Then the service charges of 550 rupees plus GST, and then the applicable TCS will also be added to that, and you will then be asked to pay the entire amount. So the forex or the bank or any forex service will collect the TCS from you, and they will internally pay to the government at the end of every quarter, and that will show up as tax paid on your behalf or on whoever is the sender. If it's your father, it will be on his behalf. Um, and if you ask them to check their what do you say, the income tax online statements in their AIS or 26 AS forms, you will it will be reflected. So this is not an additional tax that you're paying on the amount that you're sending, but this is tax collected in advance. Okay. So at the end of the financial year, when your father files his tax returns, say his net tax liability is coming to 50,000. Okay. But then you will see that okay, 5,000 has already been paid, or sorry, 10,000 has already been paid as part of TCS. So then the net tax liability will be 40,000. If somebody has paid more than what their liability is, say if your net tax liability was only 5,000 and you have paid tax, total income tax based on what their income for the financial year is, taking into account everything, I mean their salaries, business income, interest paid by banks or other investments that they have, all maybe capital gains from some sale of commodities or properties or whatever it is. So total income, if based on all their total income, if their net computed income or income tax comes to say only 5,000 and you have paid 10,000 as TCS, you would get 5,000 return. If your net tax liability comes to zero, um, you are you will get the complete money back as income tax return as refunds. So, but then of course for that you will the person who's paying has to file income tax returns. Now, many times what happens is if the money is in the student's account, most of you, after going to the US, may or may not file your tax returns. It is always recommended that you do. It's very simple and online. But if you have never done it till now, I mean, if you are still in college and you have never filed tax returns, you don't have any other taxable income in India, most likely you may not have filed your tax returns, or you may not file tax returns at the end of next financial year. That is, we are looking at 2020. The financial year will end in March 2025. So sometime before July of 2025, you will have to file your tax returns. So if you don't intend to file tax returns and you don't have any other taxable income in India, then it is recommended that you don't send the money from your personal account, because to claim the refund, you will have to file tax returns. Or even if you do, keep the amount less than 7 lakhs is what I would suggest. Any thoughts on that, Mr. Shankar, or yeah, or
Sir, hi,
yeah,
Vinod here.
yeah, hi
Good
Vinod.
morning, sir. I'm the regional head for Mumbai Region Unimoney and
Okay.
Deputy Vice President, sir.
Hmm.
So, sir, sorry to tell you that now the tax has been increased by 20%. So, October 1st onwards, it was going on. From this financial year, the tax has been increased by 20%. And for student, if the student has got the loan from the any of the banks and all, if they are providing it, so they will be the tax will be 0.5%. It is not 5%, it is 0.5%. So it
Correct,
is
correct.
better to go with the loan instead of own
But
fund.
I thought that
And
tax increase of 20% was not applicable for students and medical expenses. It was still 5%.
Anil,
Yes, sir.
ये 5% है या कैसा है? 20%.
एक्चुअली जो स्टूडेंट ने लोन लिया है उनको 0.5% है, और स्टूडेंट
Right.
अगर विदाउट लोन पेमेंट कर रहे हैं तो उनको 5% है। अगर
हाँ,
पेरेंट्स अगर फैमिली मेंटेनेंस गिफ्ट पर्पज के लिए अगर ऐसे भेज रहे हैं तो उनको 20% है।
20%. ओके. बट हम लोग जब लिविंग एक्सपेंस के लिए बेचते हैं, ठीक है, तो वो टाइम पे हम लोग को 20% एप्लीकेबल होता है, राइट?
लिविंग एक्सपेंस अगर हम स्टूडेंट को अगर भेज रहे हैं विद दी प्रॉपर ऑफर लेटर तो 5% रहेगा, बट अगर स्टूडेंट को नहीं भेज रहे हैं कोई और को भेज रहे हैं तो 20% अप्लीकेबल रहेगा।
यूनिवर्सिटी को बेचते रहेंगे तो वो 5% रहेगा, राइट?
5%, यस सर।
या अगर वही हम लोग फैमिली मेंटेनेंस और लिविंग एक्सपेंस के लिए बेचते हैं तो वो 20%.
यस सर।
Yes. So my experience is this. I mean, I have sent money personally also, and I have also seen students even after October. Very recently in January, we did some financial transactions. When you are sending money to the university, it is 5% because that is
Yes.
comes under student this thing.
Right, right,
Generally,
sir.
what the government did last October was they increased the rates from 5 to 20%, but they said that student expenses and money paid towards medical expenses are still under the 5% bracket. For everything else, it is 20%. So when you're sending money to the student's account for personal maintenance kind of thing, if you provide copies of your visa and admit letter, um, most forex I mean most forex services still deduct TCS at 5% only. Anil, if I'm is it correct?
Yes, yes, that is right. That
Yes,
is what we are for saving. We are doing like that
Yeah,
for the money.
right. And if you're paying through a student loan, yes, then the amount of TCS that would be deducted is going to be 0.5%, 0.5%.
Exactly, exactly.
I'll elaborate, sir. For example, if student has taken the 20 lakhs loan, okay, and first the payment he need to make 10 lakhs. Okay, so in this case, what happened? 7 lakhs, there is a no tax within a financial year. In a
Right.
3 lakhs, if a student have loan, 0.5 means every 1 lakh there is a 500 rupees as a TCS. So
Correct.
total 1500 rupees will be the TCS. It will be added to the amount,
Correct. Right.
and they will get after 6 months when they file the income tax file.
Correct. And if it is not through this thing, it will be 15,000. If it is paying through personal thing, personal fine funds, then you will have to pay 15,000 in this case and not 1,500.
Yes.
Yeah. Any questions on this, on the whole TCS part? I know it gets a little confusing for some for some people to understand what it is, but
TCS is a basic, sir. For example, if student wants to save this TCS, what we suggest to the student, because what happened, many of the parents they don't file income tax. So
correct.
even they don't know that key when we will get our fund, because it will take 6 months to wait for them. So
Right.
what we'll suggest to the students or parents that key make a two payment. For example, if a parents have a joint account, okay,
Yeah.
so both person PAN card, Aadhaar card we take, because TCS shows into their PAN cards, not to the banks.
Yes.
Okay, so we take two checks, 5 lakhs, 5 lakhs, and we make the payment with our service charge and normal GST. Okay, and we process the payment without the TCS.
Right. Yes, but
Yes,
I mean you can do that only if per year per person you can keep that amount less than 7 lakhs. By splitting it, yes, you can reduce that
it is a
amount.
financial year.
Yes.
It's a financial year. For example, anyone can pay, like parents, mummy, father, mother, as well as the other sister also can pay the payment. Even the student also can pay the payment from their account.
Yes. So by keeping each payment or per person each the payment, if you keep it less than 7 lakhs, then you will basically save on the tax. I mean save on the payment of tax.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So how is Gaurav, coming to your question? How is
You
TCS
question that.
adjusted to income tax? Right. So TCS is more like, I mean, consider it something like an advance tax that you pay, or like when banks deduct TDS on your income, or your company deducts TDS on your salary. It's as good as that. It's like you're paying tax. Um, so in advance. So at the end of the financial year, when you file your tax returns, if your net tax liability is say 1 lakh, and out of that, through your TDS, TCS, you have already paid 40,000, then you just have to pay 60,000. If you have already paid more than 1 lakh, then you will get whatever has been paid as refund. So it is just TCS is just added to the total tax that you have paid in the whole financial year. Like say when banks pay you interest on your FDs or savings account, they deduct tax and pay you, right? They deduct 10% tax. Similarly, TCS is 5% in your most of your cases. Any questions for Anil or Jaishankar or anybody?
Uh, One question from my side
Yeah, yeah.
is, if I know that TCS can be recovered by filing income tax returns,
Yes.
then why will I split the money into two and then pay twice the processing fees?
Right. So it is more of a cash flow issue here, right? It is like say suppose you have to pay, mm, say 20 lakhs is what you have to send in a year. If you basically split it into three accounts of can keep it less than 7 lakhs each, you will not pay any TCS. But if you do it from one account, you will pay 5% TCS, which is going to be one more lakh extra. So basically, you need to have that 1 lakh with you extra to make that payment. So ideally, you will need 21 lakhs and not just 20.
Okay, got it.
Okay, that is the key issue here. I mean,
Okay,
when the government made it 20%, it was a huge amount, right? So 20% is like 4 lakhs. You need 4 lakhs extra. But fortunately for students, then they reduced it to, after a lot of hue and cry from a lot of people. Last year, October, they reduced that. They came up with that. Okay, for students, we'll still keep it 5%. So, but if you're doing, say, if you're sending money for on a spending money on a foreign trip, just like that, a pleasure trip, then it's still 20%. So that's in just increases your cash flow because you will get the refund. See now, for example, you paid now, next March after the end of the financial year, by June, July when you file your returns, probably by 2025 August, September, you will get that refund back. So it's like you are paying money to the government, 1 lakh in your case. If you're paying 20 lakhs, you're paying 1 lakh in advance, which you only will get recovered much later. That's the thing. So you need to have that extra cash with you to do that. If you don't have that and you want to save on that, then that's paying,
okay,
splitting is the only option.
got it, got it.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Does the personal remittances comes under the LRS scheme? That is a liberalized remittance
Yeah,
scheme,
yeah.
something like.
We are into 82 categories. So we are into same as banks is having 81 category. We are into 82 category. We don't have only to open account, but what banks do, same procedure we also do, sir.
Okay.
Yes. So all payments or transfers to fees or paying for living expenses will all happen under the LRS scheme only. Yes, and there are the limits for that is pretty high. Like you can send 250,000 US dollars per year abroad. Correct, and that's the limit, right?
Right, right.
Which I think is a very big limit. So you don't need to worry about the outer limit for this thing because I don't think anybody is going to send more than $250,000 in a financial year towards fees or living. So yes, Sagar, you have something.
Yeah, so I was my question was like, are there any specific documents or records that should be retained for tax purpose related to the transfer of funds to the US universities? Like, do they require the previous history like for the taxation purpose or something?
No, no, no. There is a basic documents. For example, only if the parents is transferring money, normal documents, Aadhaar card, PAN card. Student, if student is studying, so for the purpose student is studying, university account detail, university offer letter, and student passport copy. These are the basic documents required. There are no other documents for the tax.
Okay, okay,
Yeah, so they won't be asking you about your previous tax returns and all those kind of things. So nothing from the tax side. So basically, the banks or the forex will just deduct the tax and pay it to the government against your PAN or against the sender's PAN.
Okay.
They don't ask for any other document.
You will be getting receipt from us. That receipt you have to provide along with the offer letter and the fee structures. What you have to pay to the university.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. So, uh, uh, Devarshi, Devarshi has a question basically whether the forex rates vary from bank to bank. Uh, well, yes, they do. I mean, that is the whole thing. I mean, when I think maybe you missed the starting part of it, but starting part of our discussion is that everybody is go see there is no when you go to different banks or different forex lenders, you will find slightly different rates, and the rates generally offered by forex services are cheaper than what banks offer. So, how much, Anil and Jaishankar? Just one question here. Generally, how much cheaper would be the rates offered by Unimoney than most of the other banks that would be offered? Is it going to be 50 paisa less or 1 rupee less? Kind of just to get an idea of how much cheaper would
Yeah, I'll tell you, sir. So
forex.
basically, what happened? Banks provide the rates on the card rates. For example, if the rate is 83.50 for dollar interbank rate.
Hmm.
So bank gives you around card rates means card rate means around 3 to 4%. But what Unimoney provides the rate according to the students. We can less the rate also around 1% to 1.5%. So we charge this much amount only, but bank gives you 4%.
Okay. So the premium that the banks charge is going to be around 3 to 4%, whereas your premium would be around
1 to 5%.
1 to 1.5% is what you're saying.
Every day we used to transfer lots of money to university accounts, to the student account every day because there are 311 branches in India for Unimoney.
Okay.
So more than millions of students are transferring money to our Unimoney, and we transfer to the university account. So we give competitive rates as well as the basic service we provide to the students. So no need to worry about the payments part. And other part from this, we used to provide the travel insurance. We used to provide a ticketing part as well as the in the visa assistance. We can help the student while the student is going to abroad. We can help into the currency part because every branches are having currencies in their branches as well as the forex part is the forex card. For example, if students is an MBBS student or for example any student is going to abroad for a 5 years, 4 years, we used to provide them a forex card. Forex card, it's have a 5 years validity. Okay, the student over there they can use over there, they can swipe over there limited anytime they can swipe over there. There is no charges. But when they use any withdrawal for the forex card, there is around 1.5 to 2 USD will be charges for him. So I we suggest student to only to swipe over there, not to withdraw amount.
Okay. So that is with the forex card, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And any more questions about forex transfers?
One more question. How do we spend money in US or any other foreign country? Like, for example, if I have a credit card in India from HDFC or any other bank, so will I be using that credit card? Because then I will face some of the exchange charges, or should I get any other card, or should I carry money, hard cash there, all transactions?
Yeah. So, Loki, I'll tell you. Basically, credit card, debit card from the bank, they just give you for the forex. But what happened when you go over there and you do any swiping or any withdrawal, there will be a charges of around 5 to 6% to you to your card. Okay. So, in this case, what happened from Unimoney, we will provide you a forex card, which is a multi-currency forex card only for the student. So this card you can avail from Unimoney, and you can load minimum is $100 and maximum any amount you can load. So in this case, what happens? For example, you are into the USA for 2 years. So every month you can tell your parents to reload it in that card for your living expenses. You can swipe over there. There is a no charges. Okay, Loki.
Okay, so again for loading, I have to transfer the money to your account, and then you will again charge me that processing fee.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Loki processing fee is bare minimum. It is 150 rupees something. Okay, and if you're using credit card, debit card, there will be the conversion rate again on the card rate. What Anil has said before, card rate will be 4% high, where which we are charging only 1%, and again there will be a conversion charges plus surcharges. Surcharges is 3.5% for any of the bank card, international or debit card.
Okay.
So yesterday itself, I am back from Sri Lanka. I have used I have taken the currencies there. My currency was over, so I have swiped the card there, my international debit card. So around I have used only 1,000 rupees, Indian rupees. 1,000 Indian rupees means around 3,000 Sri Lankan was there. 3,000 Sri Lankan rupees. For 1,000 rupees, they have charged me 700 rupees more. Means almost the double amount. So these are the conversion and surcharges charges which they are hitting to us directly if we are using a debit card or credit card of Indian. So better
Okay.
to use a dollar card, and dollar card when are you filling it, like you can fill any amount. So if you want for monthly expense 1,000 हर महीने ले सकते हो. Elsewise you can take एक साथ 10,000 भी लोड कर सकते हो जब भी आपको रेट बेटर लगा. अगर समझो कि आज रेट कम है तो आपने इसको चार्ज किया तो वही रेट के हिसाब से डॉलर आपके पास 5 साल तक पड़ा रहेगा. यू कैन यूज इट फॉर लॉन्ग टाइम.
Okay, so it's like a debit card, but
इट्स लाइक
just
अ प्रीपेड कार्ड.
okay.
आपने जितना भरा हुआ है उसके उतना अंदर रहेगा. आप यूज कर सकते हो वेन एवर यू फील लाइक इट इज गेटिंग ओवर. यू कैन आस्क योर पेरेंट्स. और एक बार हम लोग ने आपका डॉक्यूमेंट कलेक्ट किया, वापस वापस डॉक्यूमेंट्स नहीं मांगेंगे. इट विल बी फीड टू आवर दिस. तो एक बार आप फिर वहां से आपको बोलना है. अकाउंट विल बी ऑलरेडी गिवन टू योर पेरेंट्स. आप जब फर्स्ट टाइम लोड करते हो सिर्फ वहां पर अकाउंट में आपने ट्रांसफर कर दिया ऑनलाइन. Elsewise, if they are not able to do it, my person will go to your doorstep, collect the check. So फिर एक कॉल की देरी है, आपने कलेक्ट एक कॉल किया तो मेरा बंदा वहां पर जाएगा and they will give the doorstep services.
Okay.
These are the one more benefit is that we are the largest networking branches across India. 320 branches. कोई भी forex के पास नहीं है, कोई भी पेरेंट्स के पास नहीं है, या कोई भी ये फॉरेक्स के पास नहीं है ब्रांचेस इतने. आप जहां बोलोगे वहां हम लोग सर्विस दे सकते हैं. एवरी कॉर्नर ऑफ इंडिया. ठीक है, आपको कार्ड
सर
चाहिए, आपको करेंसी चाहिए. यस यस
हाँ सर
बोलिए
मेरा एक
रवि.
क्वेश्चन है. हाँ
यस.
मेरा एक क्वेश्चन है कि जो फॉरेक्स कार्ड लेने के बाद इज इट मैंडेटरी टू यूज फॉरेक्स कार्ड एज लॉन्ग एज एमएससी इज गोइंग ऑन और shall we discontinue it after getting Amex card or any other US bank card, and after that straightway we will send money through another mode? Is it possible?
एनीथिंग इज पॉसिबल सर. इफ आई ईयर का वैलिडिटी है, आपको जितना उसमें लोड करना है, जितना टाइम यूज करना है यूज करो. उसके बाद ये करो 6 मंथ हर, बट 6 मंथ्स में एक बार उसको एक्टिव रखना चाहिए. एक्टिव नहीं रखोगे
अच्छा,
तो 6
फॉरेक्स
मंथ
कार्ड को
में
फॉरेक्स कार्ड अगर एक्टिव नहीं रखोगे तो उसमें अमाउंट डिडक्ट हो जाएगा उसमें से.
एक मिनिमम सा डॉलर्स में चार्ज है. $1.5 समथिंग चार्ज रहेगा. ईयरली चार्जेस होता है.
हाँ. और वेस्टर्न यूनियन भी एक अनदर ऑप्शन है. क्या वेस्टर्न यूनियन से भी हम पैसा ट्रांसफर कर सकते हैं अप टू 7 लाख?
वेस्टर्न यूनियन से पैसा आता है सर, यहाँ से ट्रांसफर करने का ऑप्शन नहीं.
नहीं, यहाँ से भी पैसे कर सकते हैं ना सर ट्रांसफर यूएस के लिए?
अनिल, वहां पे
सर, अगर स्टूडेंट अगर यूनिवर्सिटी ने उनको बोला है कि पे थ्रू वेस्टर्न यूनियन और फ्लाई वायर, सो इन दैट केस व्हाट हैपन, यूनिवर्सिटी का जो लिंक होता है उसके थ्रू हम लोग कनेक्ट करके
सर
हम लोग पेमेंट कर देते हैं.
सर यूनिवर्सिटी फीस के बारे में मैं नहीं बोल रहा हूँ. अगर कोई पर्सनल एक्सपेंसेस है, लिविंग एक्सपेंसेस है, लड़के को लड़की को अगर ट्रांसफर करना है तो इंस्टेड ऑफ फ्लाई वायर, क्योंकि फ्लाई वायर या जो भी आरटीजीएस वगैरह थ्रू बैंक होता है वो इट इज वेरी कॉस्टली. तो वेस्टर्न यूनियन से अगर हम करेंगे उसको, तो मैंने मेरे एल्डर लड़की के लिए किया है, तो वेस्टर्न यूनियन से 7 लाख तक मैं उसके लिविंग एक्सपेंस वगैरह भी ट्रांसफर कर सकता हूँ.
हाँ जी कर सकते हो, पर वही बता रहा हूँ मैं, फ्लाई और वेस्टर्न जो दोनों है वो अमेरिकन कंपनी है। उनका कैसा होता है, उनका एक लिंक होता है, उनके लिंक के थ्रू हम लोग अकाउंट डिटेल उनका निकाल के भेज सकते हैं। अगर आप बोलोगे कि जैसे डायरेक्ट वेस्टर्न के थ्रू भेजो, ऐसा नहीं भेज सकते, बिकॉज व्हाट हैपन, वेस्टर्न यूनियन इज अ इनवर्ड रेमिटेंस। वहां से पैसा आता है, सिर्फ यहाँ से जाने के लिए उनका लिंक रहता है। लिंक के थ्रू अकाउंट डिटेल प्रॉपर निकाल के ही भेजना पड़ता है।
ओके ओके ओके।
सर
अच्छा।
वेस्टर्न यूनियन कैसा है, इट इज नॉट ये वो एक प्रोडक्ट है, हम लोग के पास भी वो प्रोडक्ट है जिसमें हम लोग ट्रांसफर करते हैं। यहाँ वहां से जो पैसा बाहर से आता है ना, इनवर्ड रेमिटेंस,
हाँ
हम लोग
हाँ।
ट्रांसफर कर सकते हैं। बट अगर कोई यूनिवर्सिटी कंपलसरी बोलता है कि वेस्टर्न यूनियन थ्रू आना है, तो दे विल प्रोवाइड अ लिंक। वेस्टर्न यूनियन का एक
ओके
लिंक देते हैं, ठीक है, तो वो लिंक के थ्रू हम लोग भी अपने पास प्रोडक्ट है करके ट्रांसफर कर सकते हैं बाहर।
ओके ओके ओके।
ओके, ऐसा कोई यहाँ पर आउटलेट नहीं है वेस्टर्न यूनियन का, कहीं पर भी आउटलेट नहीं कि यहाँ इंडिया से बाहर ट्रांसफर कर सके। आपको बाहर जो भी बोर्ड दिखा रहेगा वेस्टर्न यूनियन का, ऐसा वो लोग वेस्टर्न यूनियन करके बोर्ड लगाते हैं। अभी हम लोग के भी यूनि मनी के कोई भी ब्रांचेस देखोगे बाहर, मनीग्राम, वेस्टर्न यूनियन, एक्सप्रेस मनी, ऐसा बोर्ड लगा हुआ रहेगा, दैट इज आर प्रोडक्ट।
हाँ हाँ हाँ। लेकिन सर इस यूनिवर्सिटी के लिए नहीं मैं बोल रहा हूँ। अगर कोई लड़का वहां जाके यूएस बैंक का कोई डेबिट कार्ड हो या क्रेडिट कार्ड लेता है वहां पे, तो उसमें पैसा ट्रांसफर हो सकता है ना वेस्टर्न यूनियन से?
सर वहां पर जब भी वो जाएंगे ना सर, तो वहां पर अकाउंट
हाँ
ओपन करेगा। अकाउंट, वो
हाँ
अकाउंट में
हाँ
हम लोग
हाँ।
ट्रांसफर कर सकते हैं, डेबिट कार्ड और क्रेडिट कार्ड। वो अकाउंट ओपन करने के बाद वो बैंक का डेबिट कार्ड और ये क्रेडिट कार्ड मिलेगा उसको। तो जैसे ही वो
हाँ
अकाउंट
तो
हम लोग ट्रांसफर करेंगे, ही कैन यूज दैट कार्ड्स।
ओके 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 ओके। गॉट इट।
Okay, so I have a question. Hi everyone.
Yeah, hi.
So is there any other way of let's say I got this Uni Money Forex card. Okay. So and my parents want me to send money for my personal expenses or whatever it is. Okay. So is there any other option is there any other option for my parents to load the money into the Forex card from that I've received from Uni Money? Like
यस,
in
दो
India we
दो
do
ही ऑप्शन है सर, दो ही ऑप्शन है। एक आपके अकाउंट, अगर आपने अपने अकाउंट ओपन किया, वी कैन डायरेक्टली ट्रांसफर टू योर अकाउंट।
हाँ,
एंड सेकेंड
okay.
ऑप्शन इज फॉरेक्स कार्ड। फॉरेक्स कार्ड में अगर हम लोग वो जो आपको कार्ड दिया है, इट इज अ प्रीपेड कार्ड, फ्रॉम हियर यू कैन लोड इट एंड गो, एंड वेन एवर इट इज ये खत्म हो गया, तो यू कैन डायरेक्टली आस्क योर पेरेंट्स और आस्क अस टू डायरेक्टली कॉल योर पेरेंट्स एंड आस्क देम टू लोड द अमाउंट। वी कैन डू इट फ्रॉम
नहीं,
डायरेक्टली आप वंस द अमाउंट इज क्रेडिटेड टू आवर अकाउंट।
ओके सर, वो मैं समझ गया, लेकिन मैं ये पूछ रहा हूँ कि जैसे एक तो दो ऑप्शन है ना, जैसे एक यूनिमनी के अकाउंट में पैसे डालना और नहीं तो सीधा फॉरेक्स में डालना, है कि नहीं? ऑल आई एम आस्किंग इज मेरे पेरेंट्स यूपीआई के थ्रू पैसा वो कर सकते हैं क्या इस अकाउंट में, मतलब यूनिमनी के अकाउंट में?
I think
यूनी
only
मनी के अकाउंट में
हाँ,
यूपीआई के थ्रू भी कर सकते हैं, यूपीआई के थ्रू
ओके
कर सकते हैं। हम लोग एक लिंक शेयर करेंगे, उसमें से ट्रांसफर कर सकते हैं, चेक दे
ओके
सकते हैं,
ओके
और ऑनलाइन ट्रांसफर कर सकते हैं। ये जितने भी मोड है उसमें कर सकते हैं। कैश में अप टू 50,000 तक हम लोग लेते हैं, उसके ऊपर ले नहीं
ओके
सकते पर फाइनेंशियल ईयर।
ओके ओके, थैंक यू थैंक यू।
सारे
I
सारे
think
प्रोवाइड करते
no. So my I mean, just adding to Madhurya's question, कि अगर if say suppose he wants to add money, so you can either send him a payment link. Say once you decide, okay, this is the rate for loading that card at whatever is the rate. So you can say either, now suppose he has to pay 2 lakhs to you, right? So you can either send him a payment link which his parents can click at, sit at home, click and do it. If UPI is allowed within that UPI limit, they could do it through UPI, or they could give you a check. So those are the options of how they pay you to load that card. Is that correct?
राइट राइट सर।
Right. Okay.
ओके ओके।
Okay. Any other questions that any of you have regarding mm, your forex or money transfers or anything? Nothing. No more questions. on that? Anything you guys, I mean, the Unimoney team, anything that you guys would like to add or tell students about Forex or transfers?
Sir, one more question. How much minimum balance we need to keep in our forex while student is there in MS US?
In the card?
Yeah, forex cards.
So minimum is 100 USD you can load.
So you can
No, no,
keep 100. There is
minimum.
no minimum thing that you can keep. No? There is no minimum required.
Acha, though it's prepaid, you can utilize your forex in US as much amount is available in your forex card.
Correct,
Is
correct.
that?
हाँ, अगर आपके इसमें
And
$10 है
after
तो
that,
you can pay only, you can spend only $10. वो ज़्यादा spend करने की
yeah,
जरूरत
yeah.
नहीं.
And after that, once again we have to load it.
Yes.
Okay, okay.
Okay. Any further questions, or then if not, then maybe we'll just say thank you to the Unimoney team, and we will. I mean, they can leave, and we will continue with the visa related questions.
Thank you, sir. Good information from Unimoney people.
Yes. Any questions for them, or they can leave? Jashankar, you would like anything that you guys would like to add?
Yeah, Regis sir. Yeah, if we can wait for 2 more minutes. Maybe some queries may arise in the mind of students. So we can wait, no issues. Because the great thing is that my regional head, Mr. Vinod, is also there. He is having more than like 15 years experience in Unimoney. Any queries, any support, like he's always there for us. That's the main part. So any queries are welcome, small, big, anything. Or else after this session, you can ask to
Yeah,
Regis and
so maybe
you
what
can
we'll do
support
is
it.
after the session, I'll share your contact details also with them. So if they have something, they can directly ask you, or if they have something for me, they can ask me, and if I can redirect it to you. So that is also fine. So we
Sure, sir.
can,
As you wish.
yeah.
Sir, it is better you share Jaishankar sir's number
Okay,
after this also.
sure, sure. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll share his number,
Yeah,
and maybe if there are
yeah.
any
Sure, sir.
further questions, we can, ask you. Okay, so now let's continue to the visa part of it. So a lot of students are asking, I mean, are worried that the visa dates are not available online. So don't worry about it. First thing, visa dates are not yet opened, and they will all open in the month of May only. I mean, or tentatively, it is said that they will open visa dates around mid-May. So don't worry too at all about not seeing visa dates online, or if the calendars are not available, nothing is showing up, and all that. That is how it is supposed to be. So there is nothing to panic, nothing to really worry about it. Um, any questions that you have about the visa thing? Okay. So we are today, I mean, at 14th April. Generally, 15th April is the deadline by which most universities try to give their decisions. So if you are waiting for some other admits which you haven't received, or which is your preferred thing, I would say wait for a day or two max. If you still don't receive anything by 15th from your preferred university, you can immediately write to them asking for the
Uh,
details. Yes, Rishi, you have something?
yes, 160.
Oh, yeah. So do that. And if not, if you still haven't heard from someone, or you think the university is not responding, I would suggest that you finalize the university, um, whichever you have received so far, and start the I-20 process for those that university. This is what, because we are already at 15th April. So I guess most of you have finalized. If you are still waiting for something, maybe you can, if you don't hear anything by Monday, go ahead and finalize whichever is your best admit so far, and start the process for getting the I-20. Tentative timeline, if you ask me, by mid-March, sorry, mid-May, you should have the I-20 with you. In case you are not able to get the I-20, it is still okay. I mean, don't panic. Even if you get it by May and mid-June, absolutely fine. Um, Everybody who wants to study abroad will get a visa date. If you don't get your dates in June, you will definitely get it in July. But everybody wants the date early, and that is why when the dates open in May, there is going to be panic rush and to book the visa date. So, but generally there is no real need to hurry. Uh, you can, if you don't get your dates in June, you will definitely get them in July. Don't compromise on your university just because the university has not yet given you a decision. In the sense that, say, suppose you get the I-20 for one university now, but later on you get a better admit. Don't let that admit go just because you feel that you may not get the visa date on time. Okay, that is not a reason why you should let go of a university. Even if you get the I-20 from them by May end or early June, it is still okay. You still have time to, and you will definitely get a visa date. So don't just because everybody in the group or friends are getting their dates early or have got their visas and you haven't, um, you don't really need to panic or worry about it. So that is something that I would say. You will now the visa office has, I mean, the US consulate. Okay, again, any questions so far? I think the Unimoney team is still waiting. So in case you know, you have questions for them, ask, or I think they can leave. Um, whatever you guys, I mean, if you guys want to leave, please leave. Don't hesitate. I'll share your numbers with them, and they can connect with you definitely. I think you're on mute, Jaishankar.
Yeah, Rekha sir. Yeah, then it's fine, sir. Actually, just it was really good to hear about your academic part as well. But fine, I guess there is not much. If anything is there, we can connect later on. Just
Okay.
before going on, want to just refresh. We are there for you for your currencies, remittances, ticketings also, because we book tickets for the parents as well. Those students who have gone earlier, we presently done few tickets for their parents. All part we can do, like it's a one substance for education loan also. If you want anything, support anything, we are there. Our branches, they are more than 10 years old. Our staff is there. We can introduce them. Our staff will be there to full fledged cooperation cooperating with you. So thank you, Reggae sir, and thanks to my colleague Anil and Vinod. Thank you for their handling, solving their queries. So just we'll take the permission to leave. Okay, and all the best for your careers.
Yeah. Thank you.
Hello, thank you guys.
Thank
All
you,
the best.
team.
Bye.
Okay.
Thanks. Bye.
Okay. Coming back to the visa part of it, right? So when you're booking visa dates, right, you will probably get calls from some agents, or you will get some contacts of some agents saying that we will do it for you. My very strong recommendation is avoid using agents to book your visa dates. And I'll tell you how the process work. What agents did was, what they do is they do the same thing that you do. It's not that these agents have any internal contacts with the consulates or something, or they get a preferred slot. It's just someone sitting there charging you 25,000 and sitting there day in and day out trying to book a visa date for you. Now, what these agents used to do, or the reason why they could do things a little faster than what you do, is that they never put in your, most of the times what they did is they used to ask you for your login details, and they would randomly put in any number for, because when you have to book your date, right, you have to put in your passport number, your I-20 number, and all those things, and they used to just randomly put in any number and book a date for you, because they didn't have the time to actually see, okay, this is your I-20, this is your I-20 number, this is your passport number. Sometimes they used to make mistakes. You could always correct those mistakes earlier. And the way you could do that is when you go in for your OFC appointment, you would have tell the consulate people that there is a, I want to change my passport number, or I want to change my I-20 number, and they used to do it for you. Now in December, the consulate has come up with a rule that they will not entertain any such changes. So if there is a mistake, now again, so now the thing is, it is not that if the mistake is genuine, they will still do it for you, but you will have to prove that the mistake was genuine. So for example, if you probably booked a visa with a passport number, but your passport number has changed because maybe the passport expired, or it was damaged and you have to get a new passport done, kind of thing, you will still have to show them the old passport and proof of old passport, and then they will do it for you. Okay. But if it's just some number that has been put in randomly and that is not your old passport number, or you don't have any proof for it, then they will not entertain such changes. The only thing then you will have to do is they will cancel your appointment. Your fees also will get cancelled, and you have to pay again and book a new date. So avoid all those troubles. Getting visa dates is not such a big problem as students feel that it is. So don't worry about that issue. There are other things that you should be focusing on. Maybe getting your finances in order, getting your I-20s. Keep a timeline that if you can get your I-20 by mid-May, great. Um, if not, it's still okay. Don't worry too much about it. Any questions around this? About the visa thing, we'll definitely in the coming months, maybe starting April, sorry, not April, starting May, before the visa dates open, we'll conduct more sessions focused on the visa, and I'll also have one-on-one discussions with all of you before your visa interviews. So as of now, the target should be to get your finalize your admits, get your I-20 in the next 1 month. So that should be the plan of action. And again, yes, of course, if those who require education loans, if you have finalized the universities, start working on the education loan. Just to give you a heads up, I mean, students are still confused about education loans. And again, coming back to the same question about, okay, let me just clarify one more thing that I wanted to talk about. I think some of you had questions about the Forex card, and whether which services to use for paying your fees and all that. So Unimoney is one of the options. It is not the only option. My very strong recommendation to all of you is check various services. Always, it is always better to shop around, find out who is. Unimoney is definitely a good thing, but there are others also. See what the rates that are being offered. You could call two or three and ask them what is the dollar rate today. If I have to transfer money, check with Unimoney also and see. Uh, yeah. Uh, so, mm, which service would be the best thing? Now, coming to the Forex card thing, I mean, let me just clarify some. There was some confusion about the Forex card and sending money. So, like Mr. Joshi was asking, Western Union is also, you can send money through Western Union also. You can send money through, there is EBIX Forex, EBIX Cash, there is Western Union kind of thing. And the process generally works this way. I mean, I'll tell you the complete life cycle of how a student sends money. Once you basically, when you're going to the US, you would first thing that most students prefer to take a Forex card. Load it with some minimum amount and don't load a lot. I mean, I would not recommend loading $10,000 on a Forex card. I would say keep that amount something between 500 to 2000, maximum $2,000 is, I think, a good amount to load on that Forex card. Forex card is a prepaid card. It will be a Visa card that will be given to you. So today, if you go and buy a Forex card, you can buy Forex card anytime. You want to go and buy a Forex card today, you can go and do that. The bank will load $2,000, bank or foreign exchange or wherever you buy it from, $2,000. You can go to a bank. The dollar rate that they will charge you is going to be slightly higher. If you go to a Forex, it will be slightly 40, 50 paisa lesser than what the banks would charge you. That is the only difference. Rest all, they are all same. They are all Visa cards or either a Mastercard or a Visa card. Visa cards are preferred because they are more widely available in India and more easily accepted in the US. So prefer a Visa card is what I would say for US. Load $2,000 when you go abroad. So you will be paying the rate. So if the dollar rate today is 83, you will be paying the rate at 83 plus the transaction fee, whatever the banks or the foreign exchange charge you, and you load that money. Once you go to the US, you will open a US bank account. I think someone had a question which bank account to open. Open a bank account in a bank where the branch is in, which has a branch in your campus. Generally, during your orientation, they will be setting up, the universities will set up counters of banks that are in and around the campus, and they will help you open a bank account. So all this happens during your orientation. You don't have to open online accounts from here or do all that. So once you go there, you will open a bank account. And once you finish using your Forex card, right? So once maybe you've loaded $2,000 on your Forex card, I would say throw away that card. Don't go into the hassles of reloading it and all that. your bank in the US will issue you a debit card, which will again be a Visa card. So if your parents want to send money, tell them to send it to your bank account, and then you can use your debit card for all practical purposes. This is my recommendation. You can definitely, yes, reload that Forex card. There is nothing wrong in that. But the reason why I say that use your US card more than the Indian issued Forex card is because in at any point in time, if there is a fraudulent transaction that happens on your card, it is very easy to recover or file complaints if the card is issued by the US bank, right? Because your card will be issued by an Indian bank or by a forex company in India. If there are going to be some fraudulent transactions, some fraud that is happening, or some what do you say, some transaction that which you want to dispute in the future, it becomes easier when you have used a US, if the transaction is on a US bank card. It is just easier, and the reason why it is easier because you are there in the US, you can visit the bank during daytime and all that. For you to communicate on such issues, right, fraud transactions becomes a little bit of a hassle when the card is issued from India. It is not that you will lose that money or you will recover it. It just makes your life easier when you're dealing with a US bank and you are in the US. That's the only reason why I generally recommend that once you have finished off this $1,000 or $2,000 on the Forex card, just throw it away. And you don't go into the hassle of reloading it. You can, there is no harm in that, but use your US bank card. That is the best way to go about it, because eventually you will need those US cards. So, and every bank, when you open a bank account in the US, will issue you a Forex, I mean, a debit card, normal Visa debit card or MasterCard, depending on the bank. That is how what works with the. For any questions on the Forex that you thought were not very clear in that discussion, because they were mostly talking about what they offer, but as I said, they are one of the service providers, definitely a good player to work with, good partner to work with, but it you can go to anyone. I mean, in my 20 years of experience, I have not seen, you don't be worried about someone cheating you, because if you go to a bank or this thing, the only difference that you will find is the rates that they offer, rates and their service charges. That's the only thing. So if you go to a state bank or you go to HDFC or you go to ICICI, anybody will do foreign exchange. You go to Unimoney, you go to, I think, Thomas Cook. I don't know if they still exist or not, but there is ebix cash, there is frr forex, there are so many of them. uh, Anybody you go to, they will help you. It's just what rate, who is offering what rate is the thing. Unimoney, I mean, my observation has been that so far they have been the cheapest. In a sense, not, I would not call them the cheapest, but they are very competitive enough. That's the only thing I can say. In terms of service, everybody is good, as long as you don't have I mean, some really strange requests. Everybody follows government thing, TCS, TDS, or TCS, and all applicable taxes, GSTs, and all will apply. You go through anybody. So that is what is about the forex. When it comes to loans, right? Again, broadly classifying, there are three kinds of loan. One is the non-collateral loan that generally NBFCs offer. HDFC Credila, ICICI Bank, IDFC Bank are generally good players that offer a non-collateral loan. If you have collateral, then maybe going to a Bank of Baroda, Union Bank, State Bank of India, Punjab National Bank are good options. And if you want, if you don't have collateral in India, you don't have a co-signer in India, then the options that are available to you are either Empower or Prodigy Finance, where the loans are in dollars. It comes out to be a slightly expensive than an Indian loan. So if you have co-signers or collateral in India, I would say go for an Indian loan rather than going for a Empower or a Prodigy kind of a loan. But if you really don't have collateral in India or don't have co-signers in India also, who have very strong financial backgrounds, then going with Empower or Prodigy makes sense. Um, these are the overall classifications of how loans are. All Indian loans work in the same manner. It's again, as I said, the things that matter are the interest rates, margin money, and processing fees. Those are the only three things that you should be looking at. Any questions so far on the loans, visas? I think someone here had a question. Okay, yeah. I mean, again, coming back, there was the charges on forex card. There are not going to be charges on forex cards. But yes, if you use your Indian debit card or Indian credit card in abroad, you will have 2 to 3% charges on it. So generally avoid doing that. I mean, unless in an emergency situation you can, but that should not be the reason why. That should not be your plan of action. That okay, I'll go and use my HDFC Bank credit card or a debit card in the US to pay for my expenses. It will work, but one is the conversion rate and then the transaction charges. It will come out to be expensive. If it's a one-time use, you can do that, but if it's since you this is not going to be a one time use, you'll be using your cards on an ongoing basis, generally avoid doing that. I think Mr. Harinath Shastri has a question. Do you have templates to prepare financial statements for visa purpose? For visa purpose, you don't need any financial statements. That is the first thing. You don't need any financial documents. You can carry whatever you have. Visa officers are not going to check your financial documents. They will only be asking you questions related to your finances, but they will not be actually looking at your documents. They are not going to be making decisions based on a document. The only time they look at documents is when they feel that there is something fraudulent in your case. And if they want to inspect those documents, then they will do that. But generally, they would either look at it and return it, or they would keep them or make copies of it and keep them, and then they would do a background verification. But those are very rare cases. Generally, when it comes to finances, they will only ask you who is going to pay and uh, what do your, I mean, if you're saying your parents are paying or if someone else is paying, then what do your sponsors do and what is their annual income? These are the questions that they will ask. And how much funds are available with your sponsors? They are not going to check any documents. They will not even allow you to show them any documents. They will expect you to give them an answer. So when they ask you a question, they expect an answer and not a document. So if you're saying my father is paying, my mother is paying, or someone else is paying, they will expect you to give them an answer on how much funds are available with them. So as a student, you should know how much funds are available with your parents, what are your parents' income, what are the sources of income that your parents have. These are the basic things that you should know. If you have taken an education loan or you plan to take an education loan, you should tell the visa officer that I'll be paying mostly through an education loan. Or you can say that I'll be paying mostly through an education loan and additionally my parents are also willing to pay, depending on whatever is your situation. Don't worry about preparing documents or preparing files. Nobody is going to check any of those. In fact, if you go to the visa consulate website or the US consulate website, they clearly say that they will not be asking for documents for financial documents. I can send you those links also. But most students, when they basically think of visas, they start thinking in terms of documents. Again, let me emphasize the visa is not going to be based on your funding or finances. The visa is going to be based on these basic first few questions, which is why do you want to do a master's? Why have you decided to go to this particular university? And what do you plan to do after you finish your master's? Focus only on these. Try to be very thorough about these. If you are very confident and very good at these answers, I mean, I'll work with you on these answers, but this is what your visa is going to be based on, not on the funding part of it. Yes, Sarah.
Hi, sir. Good morning. Sir, my university required a financial document at the time of application itself.
Yeah.
So I sent education loan letter, and that's why in my I-20, the funding option is 100% education loan. So will it create a problem, or what can I do to show personal funding as well? Should I take bank statement?
See, the visa officer is not going to look at your I-20 and decide on what you have showed there, right? So
Okay.
in many cases, it so happens that mhm, students process their education loans later. Uh, so when the visa officer asks them, when it comes to sending money to sending, not sending, sorry, showing funds to the university for I-20, they show funds from their parents or relatives or whatever it is, and then eventually they decide to take a loan. Because by the time they decide, because many banks or many financial institutions don't give loans, or they give loans at cheaper rate if you have if you know the university that you are going to. So this is a very common thing. Some of you might have done that. Don't worry about it, because in the I-20 it will show personal funds, but when it or personal or family funds, but when you tell the visa officer, it will be, you will tell them that I am paying through most of my funding is going to come through an education loan, right? In your case, it might be most of my funding is going to come through an education loan. Additionally, my parents, or I have savings of my own, and my parents are also willing to pay, right? So
Okay.
you don't need any documents to prove whatever you are saying, right? But you should know, okay, if your education loan is say for 50 lakhs, and that is what it is, and you estimate that the total cost of education is going to be 60 lakhs, then the 10 lakhs that you're talking about is the additional funds should come from your either parents or your own savings. And whatever documents, just to be, that 0.5% safety thing, in case the visa officer does ask you for documents, which is like a very, very rare possibility, you can carry whatever documents that show that there are 10 lakhs available with you. And that depends on where the money is. Say if your 10 lakhs are in mutual funds, then carry a mutual fund statement. If your 10 lakhs are in savings account, carry a savings account statement. There is no restriction on where that money should be. Okay, US visas have no restriction on what funds you can show. Any funds that can be liquidated very easily is accepted. What is not accepted is property papers, and what is not accepted are CA statements. Right. So if you're saying that I have a 10 lakh FD, or I have 15 lakhs in fixed deposits, 5 lakhs in savings, my parents have money invested in shares, jiska value is 25 lakhs, they have PPF which is 10 lakhs, carry proofs of that, whatever proof you have, right? Maybe a demat account statement is good, like whatever tells you that there is. So if I ask you, if you're telling me I have 10 lakhs in FDs, I would, the next question is, how would you know? How do you know, right? Either you're checking it online, or you have a printed FD receipt that the bank issued when you book that FD. If you're saying that there is 5 lakhs in my savings account, right? And I would say, how do you know? Either you're checking it on your app, or you are checking it in on your net banking thing. So the thing is, since you can't carry electronic equipments inside the consulate, you will need to carry something in paper. So it could be as simple as a screenshot of your account statement, just that page which shows that the balance is 5 lakhs. Most banks have the option of downloading that thing now. So it is very easy to just log into your net banking, download something. It could be a 1 month statement which shows the balance. It could just be, many banks now also give you the balance certificate, where they give you a consolidated your balance, saying that you have 5 lakhs and your balance and savings is 5 lakhs, your FD investments are 10 lakhs. If you have some other investment that have been made through the bank, they give you a consolidated statement for all that. You can carry that. So there is no restriction that it should be a 6 month statement, 3 month statement. It could be just a screenshot of your account balances that show that these are the balances. That is also accepted. Anything that proves that there is funds, or whatever you're saying, if you have some valid proof for that, that is all that is required. So don't worry about, you don't need them to be attested by the bank also. So you don't need to go to the bank, get them attested, and do all that stuff.
Sure. Thank you, sir.
Many students do that because otherwise they feel they are not doing anything for the visa. And
Yeah.
it's also like, some parents, since the students have already, previous batch, say 2023 batch has already left. The parents who are there would tell you that, in our time we did this. It's not that the visa officer checked those documents, but we did all this thing. Your parents will start panicking, saying that, "Arey,
Correct.
iske parents ne ye sab kiya hai, I'm not doing anything." Somebody will tell you, "I am doing all this." You will start panicking. Then you will also do that. It's not required. You do it. You are allowed to carry any paper inside the consulate. You can carry your exam papers, mark sheets, newspaper. As long as it is paper, they let you carry in. As long as it doesn't get caught by the scanner, and nobody's going to check them. So that's how it is. But
Sure.
as I said, any document that shows your balance is good enough.
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah. before that, Madhuri, I'll just take your question, but Gaurav has a question. See, US banks and will not charge you any transaction fee on debit cards. Another advantage of using a US debit card is that they will not even charge you transaction fees to withdraw cash from the ATMs. Whereas if you're using a Forex card issued by an Indian Forex company or a bank, then there is no charges on, I mean, online transactions or using it at a point of sale. I mean, POS, what they call it, like using it in any shops or any grocery stores or anywhere. But if you have to withdraw cash, then there is a $1 to $2. I think it's a $2 per transaction charge that they charge you. So if you're withdrawing $100, then they will charge you $102. But when you're withdrawing money from a US debit card, they will not charge you anything. Yes, Madhuri, you had a question.
Yeah, thank you, sir. So my question is it advisable to use US bank related credit cards, or should I use the Indian credit cards in the US?
Don't
Or
use Indian credit cards. They would, as I said, they would be expensive. I mean, you can, but then you will paying a lot of amount on transaction fees. So use a US bank. You may not get a US bank credit card immediately. You will have to start off by using a debit card, and then
okay,
as and slowly, maybe one semester down the line, you can start applying for a credit card. There would be some offers that would give credit cards to students or without a credit history. Uh, most banks would need, or most anybody who issues you a credit card would need a social security number. Unless you have that, most US banks would not give a credit card. There are companies like ZOLV, and all who have started something like issuing a credit card without a social security number, and then you can apply while you are in India only before you even go to the US, so that once you reach the US, you will have your credit card sent to you. You can try those, but again, I would not. I don't strongly recommend that. That just increases complexities in life. Keep things simple, at least to begin with. Um, so yeah, so yes, you can. Like I was just talking about Zol, you can do that. There is nothing wrong in that. There is no, but I don't see a very strong use of that. In the sense, it's not something that is really required. That you don't need to spend on credit. You can spend on debit also.
okay, sir. Okay, thank you.
How much US dollars cash is allowed? $10,000 of cash is allowed. When I say cash, in the sense hard currency, notes. Um, how much money you can carry? I mean, otherwise, how much money can you transfer? It's $250,000 a year. But if you are carrying cash with you in currency, it is 10,000. Again, I would not recommend carrying 10,000 in cash. $500 in cash is more than sufficient. But the limit is $10,000. Okay, Laukik, you have some question?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, go ahead.
Will Indian civil be anyway used to secure a credit card there?
No.
No. Okay. So on what basis will be able to get the credit card?
So once you have a social security number, you will start building credit history there.
Okay.
So maybe if there is a rent agreement in your name that you do, that can help a little bit build credit history. So most banks initially will not give you a credit card because you don't have credit history. Some banks will, there are some companies or some credit unions that can give you a credit card. It is just that the interest rates would be higher in those cases. But my
Okay.
recommendation is, if you're using a credit card, make sure you make the full payment before the due date, so you don't pay any interest on the credit
Yes.
card payments.
Got
If
it.
you do, then they can go as high as to almost 40 to 50% also for such unsecured credit cards, what they typically call. But
Okay.
yes, by using the credit card, such cards, you can start building your credit history. But just you have to be careful that you make your credit card payments always on time. Otherwise, you might pay a very heavy interest on it.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, I think if there are no more questions, then we'll end today's session, and we'll conduct more sessions focused on the visa in the coming weeks. And I'll also send you some, I think, some notes. And if someone here wants to apply for a loan from Prodigy, I can send you the link for that. You can directly go there and apply. For other loans, if you have finalized your admits, like I said, we work with foreign admits. I can send you. I had sent you the link for that. You can probably take a look again. The one, see, it's a okay. A lot of students have been asking me about this. Is that is there a specific advantage of going through foreign admits, or like I had shared a number of this guy for Credila? Any specific advantage that you get? Sometimes a slight reduction in the processing fees, but beyond that there is no advantage. The other advantage is that in case your file gets stuck, I mean in case your loan processing gets stuck for some reason, it becomes easier for me to interfere and try to find out. But say you approach a bank directly, you go to say Punjab National Bank directly, or you go through us, will you get any added benefit by doing it, or will you get a difference in interest rates? My honest answer is no. um, because interest rates are not determined by the channel that you go approach the bank. They are determined by the loan office and based on your credit history or your parents credit history and all those factors. So whether you go directly walk into a bank or you apply online, you will get the same interest rates. So, and the only time, like I said, right, if there is some service issue, like your file is getting stuck, because I know someone had some problem with ICICI Bank where their file was not getting, I mean, it was taking a long time, and then maybe by finding, at least we could find out why it was taking a longer time. Okay, it's not that we could expect, honestly, we could not expedite that case beyond what ICICI took, because their backend team works at their own pace. But at least we knew what the problem was. That's the only advantage that you get. And as I said, sometimes, like if you contact that HDFC guy directly, they give you a small processing fee discounts and all that. But that's all about it. All, again, which bank to go to, that is, you can always ask me, but because each one would have a different background and a scenario, so that would vary. um, Generally, if you can go with a nationalized bank collateral loan, that will be the cheapest, but otherwise even a non-collateral loan is absolutely fine. Yeah, Varad, you had a question.
Yeah, I have a question regarding loans. Like, once we take a loan from Indian bank, suppose, and what if we go and refinance the loan in USA? Like, I read about some lenders like Sophie and all who give like interest rate little lower.
You can do that.
So, is there any catch in that? Like,
No, there is no catch in that. So
no,
again,
right?
it depends on who your refinancing company is. Some refinancing, so generally the refinancing will not happen now. The refinancing
Yeah.
will happen after you have graduated and have started working.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, in the middle of the loan, see, refinancing loans generally they will not. Most banks will not take up a refinancing case if you still need disbursements on that loan, right? So refinancing works when you have done with the withdrawals and now it's only your time to repay the loan. Like you don't need any more withdrawals.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so that is when refinancing happens. So it's refinancing is like whichever is the company. I know New Leap Finance started doing a lot of refinancing. They have temporarily stopped, but what they said is okay, you have an Indian bank loan where you have done withdrawals, you have a job now, and you are making payments. So we will pay off the Indian bank loan, and you start paying us, and we will offer you a rate which is slightly lesser than what you are paying the Indian bank. That's
Okay.
in short what refinancing is. But yes, once you have graduated and once you have completely, I mean not completely, but once you have done with your withdrawals and now it's time for repayment, you can always explore refinancing options. So
Okay.
there
Yeah.
is no catch in that. But again, every company has certain rules. The only thing that you should check is prepayment penalties, because if that is the case, then there's sometimes if there is a prepayment penalty and you want to pay off the loan faster, and after refinancing they have a clause that you should at least pay off, uh, stick with the loan for 2 years or 3 years, then you have to see if that is what you want to do or not. But other than that, everything is fine. You can go ahead with it.
Okay. Yeah.
So, Devarshi, which bank is good? All banks are good. Um, every bank has almost the same policies for issuing bank accounts for students. There is nothing like which is better, which is not better. Uh, there are certain things that, of course, we can discuss this at a much later stage. But as I said, find something which is convenient, which has the ATMs on campus or near your campus. So if maybe Wells Fargo has a presence around campus, go with Wells Fargo. If Citibank has, go with Citi. For every bank would have a minimum balance that you will have to maintain, and that varies based on your age. So if you are about 25 years old, then they would say that you should have a minimum balance of $750 per or $780 per month should be your minimum average balance in the account, or it is a quarterly balance. I don't know the details, but that is something that is linked to your age factor. If you are below 25, then the minimum balance, most banks will give you a zero balance account. But if you are over 25, many banks will not give you a zero balance account. There will be a minimum quarterly balance that you will have to maintain. So those are the only two things that you will have to check as a student. Nothing else really matters. Okay. Okay, I think if no, there are no more questions, then we'll conclude today's session, and we will probably discuss more in the upcoming session.